Hello, ghouls and goblins. Nick here. Hope everyone's doing well today. I'm back with another book review. We are on to Book Chiller's book number 4, Frankenturkey. Now, what can I say about Frankenturkey? I love this character, this concept of a character. I love a Thanksgiving book, Thanksgiving themed book. Turkey is just absolutely marvelous. Tim Jacobus did a great job. Wanting to start with the cover here, I love that it has the autumn leaf kind of fall Thanksgiving colors. Very fitting. Goes very nice with the turkey here and all of his Frankensteinness. I love how he has the scars from where he was put together, and then the bolts there that conduct the electricity that bring the Frankenstein monster to life. Very nice. You see some claw coming out here as well. The tagline's pretty good too. Look who's coming to Thanksgiving dinner. And then on the back, it's not Grandma. Great. Love that. So out of the Bone Chiller books, I think, because I have them all, and to be fair, I haven't read all of the later ones, but I think Frankenturkey is the most standout character to me. Probably my favorite monster, and I can see maybe why he would appeal to other people, being a standout and being such like a hilarious kind of concept, because the Frankenturkey is the only book to receive a sequel, and it actually is coming up pretty soon, so eager to talk about that. But yeah, just another great Tim Jacobus cover. And in terms of how it works in the book, I think it's a pretty, decent monster. The story of Frankenstein, of course, he's built out of various parts of people, humans that are dug up by Dr. Frankenstein. The monster's name is Adam. Fun fact, like Adam and Eve, first of his kind. Like through other turkey parts, I guess that would be kind of getting a little too dark for a kid's book. But he isn't really brought to life through man-made means, such as the Frankenstein monster. Instead, he is made up of a store-bought chicken, or a store-bought turkey, and a Halloween mask, and like some clothes hangers. And he just was sort of zapped to life from this ominous oncoming thunderstorm, which seems to have supernatural properties to it, which is pretty funny. They wanted to use it as a decoy because Kyle and Annie, Kyle is being the main character, their mom is a teacher at middle school that they go to. They moved from Florida here to a more rural part of New England. So it's very, woodsy where they're at. It's, of course, much colder during this time. And sort of the houses are kind of spaced out a little bit, surrounded by woods, which I really enjoy that setting. But she's a teacher, and she thought it would be fun, since it is around Thanksgiving time, to dress up as, pilgrims and Native Americans. And their father also, to add to this, original settler kind of aesthetic. Of course, in his younger years, they would, like, of course, everyone did before sort of the concept of grocery stores, they would have to kill their own food and eat it, raise it up and eat it. So he wanted to go and get them a turkey. And so they did, and he told him, don't get too close, because we are going to chop his head off and have him as our Thanksgiving turkey, as they did of course, for all of, humanity. So, and of course, this turkey they get, he's really sweet. Gobbledy, Gobbledygook. He is, very friendly. He acts like a pet. They also have a pet Labrador named Trouble, blonde Labrador named Trouble, which I quite like in the book. And so they, have this decoy turkey that they make to try and fool their parents so they can save Gobbledygook from being eaten. But of course, and this happens sort of about halfway through the story when the Frankenturkey monster comes to life. And in the beginning, he looks a lot like a normal turkey, but he has these red eyes, these menacing red eyes. And of course, throughout the book, he gets bigger and he gets more mean. And, you sort of see more of like these, like the Halloween mask, where it has like these warts and stuff come out. And like his talons become daggers. And he's just an all out, bad turkey, so to speak. The other sort of main character in this book is Kyle's bully, Jake. At some point, Jake realized that Kyle isn't coming to school because, I guess, to take his lunch money and bullying him. And, Kyle says, oh, well, we have this turkey we have to take care of. And he said, oh, really? And so he actually comes to their house and acts like Kyle's friend, being a jerk, to see the turkey, to see if he was, messing with him. The turkey then, at that point, is the Frankenturkey, and it traumatizes Jake, and he goes home crying and stuff. But at the end, Jake comes back because after the event, where at school they dress up like pilgrims and Native Americans and stuff, Frankenturkey actually gets out and he sort of stalks Jake from the windows, which I think are pretty funny scenes. And no one else sees him, and he just kind of disappears. But they bring Gobbledygook to school for everyone to see, and Jake is like, "That's not the same turkey." So he comes over at the end of the book, and it's like asking these questions, like, that wasn't him, that wasn't that turkey. But anyway, sort of at the end, they sort of bond. Jake sort of goes from a bully, and they sort of work together, trying to protect Gook on Thanksgiving Day from Frankenturkey and trying to find him. And there's like a cave out in the woods, and there's like a scene which it's a little hard to keep up with, where Frankenturkey is attacking them, and at one point, like, the warts on him pop, and it's just really gross. But it is one of the more, I think, humorous books, even though it is kind of a slow build up. But the characters are pretty solid, and I do like how Annie, of course, is not like an annoying sister. They actually act like a real life sibling duo, her and Kyle. And then at the end, Jake's family comes and eats with them after it's all over. But the ending to this is pretty ridiculous. At the end, Frankenturkey chases them in to their house, and he's up on the table, and then the lightning storm comes back, and it zaps him, and it turns him into like a perfectly made, decorated Thanksgiving turkey. And then their parents come home because they didn't have a turkey because Gobbledygook got away. Trying to go from store to store while all this happened between, Kyle, Annie, and Jake as they were, fighting off Frankenturkey. They just come in at the right time and like, I don't know how you did it, but it's a turkey. And so Jake's family comes and they all eat, and it's a happier ending. But yeah, pretty pretty crazy, ridiculous scenarios with Frankenturkey. It's it's not really as scary as the last one. It's definitely more in that vein of humor, but it does have its charm to it. For me, I think since it relies very much on the Frankenstein turkey concept, and I do like the setting, but there really isn't anything else there in terms of the spook factor. So I take a point off of that, and then at some point Frankenturkey kind of attacks Trouble, the dog, which I guess as a dog person and an animal person, I don't really like, but I get, it wasn't intended to be like serious damage, but just something I don't like personally. So, take a point off for that, and I give it, probably a 6, even though it is my favorite character, and I do like Frankenturkey over the Mrs. Larva Lunch Lady. I think in terms of the book and how he is, I give it a 6, but which is still, decent rating. But yeah, let me know what you think of this book if y'all have read this, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.